It's good to see you, Adele.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much. I'm ready. I tried to organize things as much as possible,
Love it.
just so I can try to maximize my time with you. So
Hmm.
I'll just be kind of looking off to the side, like I'm like almost looking through your soul because I'm not going to be looking at you. I'm going to be looking at my document from time to time.
No problem.
Um, I'm just pulling that up. I think I read, did you go to Pebblebrook in
I
performing
did.
arts? I did
Yeah.
too.
Did you really?
Yes, I was a drama major.
Amazing. I started out a drama major, but the teacher was too scary. And then he was so scary. And then became a voice major. And then the old drama teacher left. And I was like, well, damn. But I love
Yes,
all of it. So,
yes, it was definitely a great experience for sure.
yeah.
So I thought I read that. I was like, I saw something on LinkedIn and I was like, she went to Pebblebrook? And I was like, I bet you she was in like performing arts.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it was really cool to see that. So perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to talk through essentially like my where I am in my practice. I of course I lost the file now. Hold on one second.
No worries. No
Like,
worries.
sorry. Of course, as soon as I get on, then like the file is gone. Here we go. There. Perfect. Okay, so I've been in private practice now since like 2017, but I've always done like part-time in lieu
Hmm.
of my full-time job.
Hmm.
So like around 2024-ish, I knew I wanted to eventually go full-time in my practice.
Hmm.
And so I can run down some of the numbers, but I know that like I want to talk about full-time transition and just any insight you have on that. And I know that, of course, it's just based on like the financial goals that you have. But if you have like
Hmm.
any general benchmarks or things, or of course, like any advice around that,
Hmm.
waitlist strategy, and then also scaling beyond one-to-one. And so I know that sounds like a lot in this time frame, but I'm going
Hmm.
to try to get through it as much as I can. So I'll just give you some of my numbers if you would like, just so you can
Yeah.
get an idea of my practice. Okay. So currently I'm working 3 days a week. It's
Mhm.
usually Monday through Wednesday. I have 19 clients right now. 11%. So like two of them are insurance because they're like older clients that I've had for a really long time. And I wanted
Mhm.
to honor that, but I don't accept insurance generally. I have a contract with the EAP and there's 12 clients there. So like around 63%. And then five private pay.
Mhm.
They're on different cadences. Most people are weekly, and I have
Mhm.
like five that are like monthly to like every 3 weeks, and then two that are bi-weekly. My goal numbers for like by the end of the year is to be working like 3 to 4 days a week. I plan to open up my Thursday. Um, Currently charging like 175, and the goal is to end up moving like private pay to be the 60%. So like 10 to 12 clients, keeping
Mhm.
around like 7 to 20 clients a week, but 10 to 12 be private pay. And
Mhm.
then that 7 to 9 to be EAP. Um, and then eventually like the next goal level after that, of course, is just to continue to increase private pay to
Mhm.
be more like the 70% or more,
Mhm.
and then a smaller percentage to be EAP.
Mhm.
Um, and right now I'm marketing on Psychology Today. I started that in March because essentially before I never marketed just because I was working with EAP, and I had clients that lasted for so long. But I knew with the goals that I determined that I wanted to go full time, that eventually, like, of course, I needed to get into the habit of marketing. Um, and so I started with that. I got one client from there, but I started Instagram in July
Mhm.
and I had 19 followers. I've grown it now to like 3,500,
Nice.
and I've gotten five private pay
Okay.
clients from there. So that's going really well.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, so with that information, do you want me to pause
Mhm.
or do you want me to start and dig into like my questions?
Go ahead with your questions. And yeah, I'll ask questions if more questions come up.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Um, And it was funny because as I was going through this, I was like, I want to have my numbers. I want to be like very prepared. But I was thinking about when I did your course and how you were like, what kind of practice do you want to have? I'm like, yeah, I don't want to work on Fridays. I always want like a 3 day
Mhm.
weekend. So like it was like funny that some of like the stuff from the course was coming back to me,
Love
of
it.
course.
Good.
But yeah. So I'll start with the transition to
Hmm.
full time. So I want to do this in like the next year or two.
Hmm.
Um, what are the common mistakes you see people kind of fall into when they transition too early?
So I would say too early is rarely the mistake I see. Most
Okay.
people transition too late.
Oh,
So they get golden handcuffs with two incomes, right? So like you've got your full-time work and you're getting paid for that. Now you've got 19 clients, which is a ton of clients when you're working full-time too.
mhm.
And so you get comfortable with that income and then you don't have like in an ideal world, and few people actually do this. It's what I tell people to do, but I really don't think anybody does it. I don't know that I did it. Like to sock all the money away that you make in private practice because you're already used to living on your salary. And so if you sock all that money away, then you've got all this savings that gives you a cushion. So, but most of us are like, yeah, I've been living like paycheck to paycheck for so long. I'd like to go on a vacation. I'd like to buy a new jacket. I'd like to, so it's not unreasonable. But I would look at how you can start putting more money away than you maybe currently are just to create a big enough cushion that you're not worried. When you say next year or two, like I think too, setting such a far out timeline, there's no heat under your ass to get it done, right? Aside from the fact that you're working a million hours. But if there's a little bit of like time pressure because you said you were going to do this in the next 6 months or shorter, then it's amazing what can get done.
Definitely feel like I'm one of the people with the golden handcuffs for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't even think about that. Okay, perfect. And right now I'm doing like the profit first
Oh,
model.
good. Hmm.
So I say for taxes, and then right now, like I have my percentage of what like I take home is like the 60%. So that's how I was like kind of coming up with like the numbers of what would feel good for
Hmm.
me, or that I could live off of. So just saving more. Um,
Hmm.
I'd probably need to come up with like a percentage of what I would feel really comfortable with. I don't know if I'm quite disciplined all the way to do all of it,
Yeah,
but
fair.
definitely like a big chunk I could definitely do.
Yeah. Do you
Um,
have a profit account like that you're
I
putting
do.
money into? So
Yes.
while you're in this goal space, like I know he's like, spend it on something fun. While you're in this goal space, I'd encourage you to put all of it into savings. And if you end up with extra for taxes, like you oversaved, put
Mhm.
that in also. And that way it's not
Okay.
as like, oh, but I'm used to paying myself this much per month. Like that's kind of like the extra money that you may end up with. And then yeah, you've got the cushion. It just feels safer.
Okay. That's a good idea. Okay. Perfect. And then I think you ended up answering one of the other ones in here because, yeah, it was basically like, are there any frameworks that you think work best for like building that financial runway? And you already touched on that.
Hmm.
Um, Outside of that, what is one thing that I could do now that you think would pay off big, when I go full time, since you've been there before and then guided so many people through this
Yeah.
process?
Well, I think like you've identified something that's really working for you, and that's Instagram.
Mhm.
So I would be so consistent with Instagram.
Okay.
I would make that like a huge priority. Do you already have a website?
Yes, I have a
Okay.
website. I went all in during the holiday break,
Hmm.
and I like did all my courses, did all the things, built the website, and like got all the things together for planning for Instagram. So right
Hmm.
now I'm in the middle of like I did like the SEO and stuff behind the scenes, and I've
Hmm.
gotten one client off of that, which I was really proud of because, of course, I was just
Uh-huh.
doing it myself.
Yeah,
And then,
totally.
and then for Instagram, I'm almost in my third month. The first level goal was like, oh, I'm going to do this for 90 days and I'm going to post every day. But
Hmm.
now it's going so well that I think I want to try to post every day until the end of the year.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that makes sense to like go all in on Instagram right
Hmm.
now, just because it's been treating me so well.
Right. Well, and if you got 5 clients from Instagram private pay already in 3 months, like if you do the next 3 months, by the holidays, you may have met your goal.
That's what I'm thinking because I definitely like I was more of a consumer of social media, not like
Hmm.
a posting individual, even in my personal life. So when I set the goal initially, I was like, I don't even know what's like appropriate for
Hmm.
this. I was like, I'm starting at 19 and they're like basically my family and
Hmm.
friends. So I was like, okay, in 3 months, maybe I'll have 1,000 followers and I might get like one client trying to like build in like the know like and trust factor. I was like, I guess
Hmm.
they have to get to know me and all the things, but it really like it took off really well.
Yeah.
So
And I
I
want to tell you, most therapists do not get clients from Instagram even when they're trying. So the fact that
really
you've gotten 5 private pay clients, like you are onto something. There's something special about you and the way you're doing it that is not common amongst therapists.
it's like also some of my I do a lot of acting
Hmm.
skits in my I have 2 series that
Uh-huh.
I'm running. And so my niche is toxic relationship from recovery from all types of relationships and narcissistic abuse recovery.
Hmm.
And so I think my PA kid comes
Yeah.
out a
Yeah,
lot in
totally.
my skits.
Uh-huh. I
Oh
love it.
yeah.
Drop your handle so that people can follow you.
Oh sure, I'll definitely do that for sure. And then let's see. I think you I think you touched on this, but I'll still just ask it anyway. What's the most common like bottleneck that you see for therapists around my stage?
It's that you're in that really awkward stage where you're having to work so much. So it's always the money piece. So it's like not saving enough. And like you're probably making good money, maybe for the first time in your life. And like, who doesn't want to enjoy that? And so looking at the things you might be justifying for your practice of like, oh, well, I need this new couch if you're in person, for instance, or I need this fancy software, I need whatever, like you probably don't. You probably don't. If it's not making you money, I wouldn't buy it right now. Um, so yeah, you're just at that tough part. And I do see people get burned out because you're working so much and posting on Instagram every day. It sounds like it's a real quick, easy thing, but it's not.
It's not.
Because there's also then engaging with people who comment on it and things like that. And with the growth that you've had, you didn't have a slow ramp up to that necessarily. You, yeah. Are you, question about your Instagram, did you have like a couple reels go viral or are they like consistently getting good views?
So in the first month, I just wanted to, I knew I was going to eventually use like ads and stuff. And I wanted to test like my content to just see like, okay, because I plan content out in advance. So I was like, let's just see if it like actually resonates with people.
Mm-hmm.
So at first I did it organically. I grew pretty steady the first month. Then I started boosting my series.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was what really took off.
Mm-hmm.
I would get like with the series, I could get anywhere from like 100 to 200 followers off of like one of my reels.
Nice.
And then I just had one go like viral, like baby viral. So
Mm-hmm.
with like baby viral. So that one got like 400 followers.
Nice.
So yeah, so consistently, I think my series really goes well, like goes over well with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really trying to keep it within like the 90 seconds
Yes.
is hard. because you know
Hmm.
you can't boost if it's not. And so sometimes they miss out on like some of my really the ones I really want them to see. I want them to see them all, but like of course, like some that you're like, this one was really good, like, but I can't even boost it because
Hmm.
it's too long. But yeah, so that's what I've been seeing that picked up the traction is like boosting my series to get
Hmm.
it in front of the non-followers, and then it ends up drawing them in, which
Got it.
is this the right thought process to have is that it must be going well. It must be content that's resonating with them if
Yes.
they are following, right?
Yes. And particularly because, like I was saying, therapists don't always get therapy or therapy clients from it, but they might get followers. But the fact that you're getting both means you needed to keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And I enjoy it, but like you said, it's a lot of work. And then like you're trying to build community as well. So like they know
Yeah.
that like I'll talk back to them. We're not doing therapy in the comments, but like
Hmm.
I'm actually like interacting with you.
Yeah.
So um next up is this is like a question that I've seen like okay, so I'm getting clients. What is your philosophy on a wait list? I've heard some people say, don't say you have a wait list, because you could lose like that direct access to you. I've seen some say like actually do the wait list. What are your thoughts? Because I wanted to keep the book consult without overpromising when I'm full.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm asking because I am approaching like after like two more clients, but you know they fluctuate so much in the
Right.
cadence.
Hmm.
So I don't want to like say a wait list and then it'd be too far out and possibly lose a client.
Hmm.
Or like what's your philosophy on this?
Yeah. Well, I have a philosophy, but first I'd say like I wouldn't take on any more IEP clients or not IEP any more
I
which
know
make
what you mean.
so many letters.
I know, right?
EAPs. I wouldn't take on any more
Yes.
EAPs. It's only for private pay people. Um I am not a fan of a wait list, but that's personal. That's just because I worked at an agency where our wait list would get like 6 months long and people would be suffering and for some reason like it was just hard to refer them out even though they had resources. So I'm not a personal fan of it, but I think in your circumstance, it can make sense if you're clear on a timeline of when you'd be able to bring them on, right?
Okay.
Like if you had 3 people on your wait list for private pay, that would get you up to 8 private pay. Um, how many private pay people do you need to replace your current job?
So right now I have it at if I could get at least like 10 to 12 at least.
Hmm.
It would be nice to have a little bit more like the 12 to 15,
Hmm.
but 10 to 12 I could make work. And of course, I'm thinking about it in my profit first
Right.
thought process and my percentage because it puts me at like, even with the split, it puts me at like 11 to 13,000 a month. But
Hmm.
I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about the 60% that I could make work out of that.
Right.
So yeah, 10 to 12, but like
Hmm.
a sweet spot, 12 to 15.
Okay. So I don't know how you're seeing all these therapy clients all the time.
They're
I
on
just,
different cadences though. Like when
uh-huh.
I started breaking it down, I was like, wait a minute, how do I have almost 20 clients? And then I realized like there's 12 that are weekly, five
Hmm.
are every 3 to 4 weeks, and two are
Hmm.
bi-weekly.
Okay.
So it's packed for
Hmm.
sure. Um, and like you said, that's why I know that like when you said like that burnout piece, because the golden handcuffs are there, but like it kind of has some moments where like if one of them is like, I'm so sorry, I'm sick, it's like, okay, who I need a break. Um,
Hmm. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so yeah, yeah. And that's
So,
without me opening up Thursday, which I'm gonna do soon. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If you're able to open up Thursday, then that gives you some more time. But once you've opened up Thursday, I really want you to be kind of like on a train to getting it full quickly. Because it's just so much work and I want you to have a life and I want you to rest and all of it. So, I would say, yeah, you know how many people you need. You have an idea of how you can get them because it's what's gotten you your current full fee people. Um, I don't know. I don't remember what your question was at this point because I took us all the way around it.
No, it's okay. You answered the wait list, which I think
Mm.
I'm gonna go with like kind of like how hairdressers do, where they're like, I open the books for the following month.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like say, oh, I'm booking for November right now, or I'm booking for, but not too far out, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't want them to feel like, well, dang, like I'm dealing with stuff right now, but just like
Yeah.
maybe a month out. I like that language better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
I do think what we were kind of headed towards, I think that I have a client private pay range. I do think that I'm probably doing the golden handcuffs thing here, but I want to kind of see out Instagram until like next year, not too far into next year, but I just want to like have a little bit more time with it to see like, okay, is this consistent flow? Like, can I
Mhm.
really depend on you? Because I know that once I go full time, and tell me if this is the right thought process. Of course, we can't control all these variables, but like I think about like if I can do this now while working a whole full-time job, then I'll have more time to dedicate to things
Mhm.
when okay.
Yeah, 100% you're on the right track. Yeah. When you've
Okay.
just got one job, you can market a lot more. You can do those things so much more easily.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And that's like I usually recommend for people who have the means to like just focus on marketing your practice until you've got clients. Like if you this is not a lot of people, but if you don't have clients, right, or if you don't have a job, yeah, you can really get things going a lot faster. So, yeah.
One. Um, This is not something that I would do right now, but
Mhm.
of course, obviously scaling beyond one-to-one. And I've looked at two options, even though my website has an intensive on there, like a
Mhm.
breakup intensive. Um, I was thinking about groups or intensives.
Mhm.
Um, what are your thoughts on that? And like, of course, I would do this. I could do an intensive now because it's like a one-off. I just couldn't do a
Mhm.
group right now,
Mhm.
unless it was only on that Thursday because I would just want to make sure I, was able to really show up for them.
Mhm.
But what do you think about those two options for scaling?
I love both.
Okay.
And I think the pro and the con with intensives, if you're already attracting um, private pay people, I'm thinking to um, if people outside of the state or states that you're licensed in, if you are attracting them so hard on Instagram that they're willing to fly to you, do an intensive where you are, and then fly home, then that's an opportunity. The hard part with groups is it's like trying to get all five of those clients at once that you're trying to get. You know, like it's harder to fill a group for most people. Um, You've been boosting posts, and what's interesting about that, it's that also doesn't usually work for getting clients, except that I think you've got such entertainment value that people are immediately drawn in by it. But sometimes people try to like do an educational one or something like that, and they just lose whatever money they put towards it. But boosts and ads can work for groups because it's time limited, so people are more kind of there's an urgency to it versus like I'm always available for clients. So, um, yeah, I think that either one could be good. Being open to intensives, it's tough with intensives because that's a chunk of time that you've got to kind of reserve for people. So it might be that that's what you do Thursday afternoons, depending on how long your intensive is, that kind of thing as you build up your Thursdays. Um, and I think with intensives, another benefit is if they are working with a therapist already on some other issues, and this is just like they're just banging their head against exactly what you specialize in, you could do essentially like adjunctive therapy just as an intensive. So you're not taking their clients. They're more likely to, other therapists are more likely to refer to you for that intensive because they know they're going to be able to retain their client.
Thinking too. So I'm glad you said that. How would I test it? Because like that's not something I brought up to my audience yet because with all the things that I've learned, I'm just really trying to make sure they get to know me and want them to kind of associate one service with me for right now.
Hmm.
Instead of me giving them so many options. Of course, if
Yeah.
they go to my website, they'll see them.
Hmm.
But how would you go about like testing the interest
Hmm.
for this?
I might like I wouldn't bring it up until you're already where you want to be and just in one job. And
Okay.
then I I mean you could do a skit about it, about intensives. You could do stories about it. A lot of selling happens in stories. Um yeah,
Okay.
but I
I
would
didn't even
wait.
think about putting a skit to it, but yeah, I am. I'm glad you said that because in my thought process, outside of just like me adulting so hard and so close to the
Hmm.
sun that I'm like, I don't have the capacity right now,
Hmm.
and I wouldn't want to like advertise it and then it goes well, and then I'm like, oh shit, like
Hmm.
you're gonna have to open your Friday because there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
So yeah, skit
And so
stories.
an idea, and I don't know if this would fit in your current framework, but something you could do content wise would be just like filming the yourself as the client character, like in a chair that looks like a therapy chair, or couch, and just like different outfits, just like blurps of like different outfits. And
Mhm.
like it wouldn't even be words, but you'd be like blah blah blah, next outfit, blah 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 to next outfit versus, and then like it could cut to you just like really talking in one outfit, like you get this many amount of like, it's like six therapy sessions in one, basically, like that kind of thing.
That
Take
I
it.
like that. Look, thank
Yeah.
you. Like, thank
Yeah.
you for that. That's
Hmm.
really cool. I like that. I know you record this, so I'm gonna have to go back and like really like flesh that out. But that's like a really good idea. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Like that's really good.
I think
And
maybe it's
then
bad that I think in content these days, but if it can be of use to
that's how
people.
I'm thinking as well. Because I'm just like, I am like a whole little content creator now. Like, what in the
Hmm.
world? So yeah, I definitely think in content. And that's pretty much it. I tried to really scale down because I was like, okay, you only have 30 minutes. It's gonna feel like it's long, but it's gonna go by fast. The only
Hmm.
other thing I'm doing is building my email list.
Hmm.
I haven't really marketed it as much. I have a quiz. It's on
Hmm.
my website. It's in my bio, but I have a plan for it because right now it's been moving kind of slow. But I'm really proud of the 27 people I have because I haven't
Hmm.
really been pushing it out that much.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about probably using ManyChat to build
Hmm.
that up because following experts like you and some others in this space, and just like what they just say in the marketing realm as well, is that like Instagram is not your like home. And so if something
Hmm.
goes away, you need to be able to reach these people.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to build that email list at the
Hmm.
same time, but it's kind of been slacking a bit. So I think I'm gonna do mini chat to see if that can
Hmm.
help to boost it a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you could do like one reel every 2 weeks just to send people there, or
Yeah,
do a story a week or something like that.
yeah,
So there are ways to market it so that people will be like, yeah, I want that. I want to know my answer. And I mean, you could get so creative with whatever the different answers could be, like embodying each of those.
yeah.
So
Because
yeah.
I've been thinking through some ways. I'm like, how can I market this place even more? Because I've just been using like little like what is it, like the faceless content in my stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll like do that, and then I'm like, okay, I need to come up with some other ways. I was like, maybe, and I did just think I was like, maybe I could do a skit. I was like, but I'm gonna have to really think this through because it's not coming to me super fast on how to do
Hmm.
how to like
Yeah.
tie it all together. But yeah. But thank you so much. This was really
Yeah.
helpful. I've been following you for years. I'm in your community.
Hmm.
And it's been really, really helpful. And it was just a plus that you were in PA. So
Love it.
that
Love
was
somebody from
even
back
better.
home.
Exactly. So that made it even better. But I only found that out like after I joined. I was like, oh my God, like that's so cool. So yeah, so thank you so much.
Of
This was really
course.
helpful. I have my notes. Of course, I'll look at the video again. But this was really good stuff. And so I'm glad I was able to snag a spot.
Yeah, me
So yeah.
too. It's so good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much.
Sure. Bye.
Bye.